Hello and welcome back. This is 10.1 part 2. And now what we're doing 10 part 2, we have to be able to solve problems and operations using rational exponents. So let's look at the first way. Again, kind of two ways to do it, but I'm going to focus on that one way of breaking down. So first of all, it says to write in exponential form because that's a hint that it's going to be a lot easier to solve it while it's in exponential. First of all, you cannot multiply these together because this is a square root and that's a sixth root. So I can't make that like the square root of 64 or anything. So what I am going to do is write this as 8, that's your root, 1 over 2 times 8, that's your root, power is 1 over 6. Now, at this point, since our bases are the same, then I can write 8. And the reason I can do that, if you remember, x to the 6th times x to the 4th is going to be x to what? X has 6 friends, X has 4 friends, X has 10 friends. So what I'm going to do now is if I'm keeping the base, then I'm taking 1/2 plus 1/6. Now, we're going to have to add and subtract fractions. So if I put a 6 here, that's 3/6. 3 plus 1 is 4/6. So now I'm going to put 4/6. I'm going to simplify it automatically before I do anything else. So now you have your two ways. You can go back to the cube root of 8 squared, or what I'm going to do is take 8 and go back to my index card if you don't remember, and my 8 is here in the small family 2's. That is 2 to the 3rd. So I'm going to write 8 as 2 to the 3rd, and to the 2/3, 3 will cancel, and we know that's going to be 2 to the 2nd, which is 4. Okay, so you did a total operation of the square root of 8 times the 6th root. Now, if ever you're left with an exponent, you put it back into radical form. So our answers will always go back to radical form here. So let's look at one now that our bases are going to be different to start. So first of all, definitely no multiplying these together due to this is a 4th root and that's an 8th root. So you're going to write it in exponential form. 27 powers 1, 1/4. 9 power is 1/8. At this point, these are not the same. So I cannot multiply together. I cannot make them 8. But I should start to pick up that 27 and 9 are in that family. And what family are they in? They're in the 3's. So if you see 9's here, 27's here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to write this as 3 cubed is 27. And this is 3 squared to the 1/8. Then I'm going to clean it up. 3 to the 3/4, 3 to the 2/8, which then I'm going to cancel that out. And so this is 2/8, which I know is 1/4. At that point, our bases are the same. It's only if our bases are the same that we can put them together. And if you recall, if you're multiplying, you add. That's this rule of thumb. I'm not making that up. That's exponents. So I'm going to take 3/4 plus 1/4. Yay, very easy. 4/4 to the 1, and the answer's 3. Not too bad. Okay, we're going to leave that one. Please try this one by yourself. They seem like big numbers. It's not going to be any harder. Now, in theory, these are both cube roots. So in theory, you could multiply them together and find the cube root. You could do that, but let's do it my way, in which we're going to use our perfect powers. And we're going to go down and see. We might have to push our limits. Oh, no, go ahead. Try it. All right. Hopefully you did. 128 to the 1/3, 256 to the 1/3. We are multiplying them, but we want to make them smaller. So 128, the problem with our perfect powers is it really doesn't go too high on the twos. So the thing is this, 2 to the 6th is 64, 2 to the 7th is 128, and 2 to the 8th is 256. So that's the problem. We do need a little bit more in our family of twos. So when I get here, I do realize that it's 2 to the 7 raised to the 1/3 and 2 to the 8 raised to the 1/3. So now I have 2 to the 7/3 times 2 to the 8/3. When the bases are the same, they stay, and it's 7/3 plus 8/3, 15/3, which is 5. Please note that's an exponent. So 2 to the 5th, and that you can go back to your card with, and 2 to the 5th is 32. Okay, let's do one. That's division, and division is no different besides what you do with the exponents, because remember, x times 6, x times 4 is x to the 10th, but x to the 6th over x to the 4th is x to the what? And hopefully you know it's 2. So what did I do with these? I subtract them, where here I add them. So that's going to be our only difference. So let's look. Can't divide because this is a cube root. That's a 6th root. There's no dividing this and making it 2 to some root. So I write 4 to the 1/3, 2 to the 1/6, because there's no other powers besides a 1. So the power on top, root on the bottom. At this point, I cannot divide because these aren't the same, but I should know that I can get 4 2 to the 2nd, which is 1/3 over 2 to the 1/6. So now my top is 2 to the 2/3 over 2 to the 1/6. So now, if your bases are the same, just like they are here, then your base is 2, and I need to take 2/3 minus 1/6. I'm going to change this to a 6 and make it 4/6. 4 minus 1 is 3 over 6, which is 1/2. So I'm going to leave this as 1/2. Now, that is a fraction, so I don't leave them in exponential form. Now, this says to kind of leave it in exponential form, but on a test or quiz, you are going to put it back in a radical. So what you need to know is that's your root 2, and so no power. So 2 to the 1/2 would go back to the square root of 2. So they're kind of fun. I know they seem like a lot of work, but they're actually kind of fun. So go ahead and try this one all by yourself. Even though I think you could do it. Go ahead and try. Pause the video, try by yourself. Really hoped you paused the video. 32 to the 1/10, 4 to the 1/8. I hope you're starting to pick up your families. Where can I find 32? Where can I find 4? Whatever, what was it? 4 and 32. So if I go 4 and 32 are in the family of twos. So I can do 2 to the 5th, 1/10. 2 squared, that's a 4, 1/8. So now I get 2 to the 5/10, which I'm going to write as 1/2. Sometimes it hurts you to simplify because they don't come out to be the same. You know, like maybe they would both come out to be 5/10, but I like to simplify. So 2/8 is 2 to the 1/4. At that point is when I can write 1, 2, because it's base over base. And now I need to realize this is division, so it's 1/2 minus a fourth, which I hope you realize is a half again, but if not, we do 4 2/4. 2 minus 1 is 1. I'm sorry, did I say a half? I meant a fourth, sorry. 1/2 minus a fourth is a fourth. Whoops, good one. A fourth. So 2/4 minus 2/4 minus 1/4 is 1/4. Now again, that resulted as having an exponent, so we write it as the fourth root of 2. Okay. So at this point with operations, it would get really difficult to start trying to break this down. Like there is no 10th root of 32, and it's really hard to try to get the, so there's not really another way to do it except to break them down. All right, from that, I'm giving you a homework, part 2. All right, and you're going to just do specific problems for now, and then we will discuss them when I come back. All right, these are the problems I think you should try and be able to do. All right, work together. Thanks.